How goes it? As you well know, I'm host Joe's Blake. I'm a painter. I've done pretty well for myself. For those who wish to participate in my art world, I guess is the best way to put it. Today, for Painter's Breakfast, I am having a mackerel toast from Bevco. Never tried it before. It smells good. Let's see how it tastes. I have been jamming out pretty heavily for the last show that I had on Saturday. Little guy broke my. Little guy broke my lucky cat. So we're still lucky, but a little less so than we were before. But that's okay. I'm gonna get another one. I'll go down to Chinatown and get one. I feel like it'd be silly to like order one via Amazon when like I have the resources to just go and be a part of my surrounding culture. So I'm gonna go get another one. Life is good though. The show was really good. I met a lot of new people. I got people to fill out the papers. I'll show you those in a couple minutes. The top fives. It was quite beautiful actually. It was a really beautiful experience. So I went to Bevco and I got this. And Bevco was right up the street from People's Books, which is where I did the big art festival with a bunch of other artists, like 12 of us. I've got some recordings that I'll put in the video for tomorrow. Please go check those out. It's always funny how like the lives do so much better than the pre-recorded, edited stuff, which is always kind of strange because there's not much that goes into these. It's just talking and me eating food and then answering questions and being silly with whoever jumps in here. Which, believe me, very important, but it's just interesting how it all kind of comes together. It's actually pretty good. I was a little worried because I had been doing the salmon toast for so long that I hadn't really tried anything else other than the Mediterranean breakfast and the salmon toast, and they got rid of the salmon toast. So I was like, what am I going to get? What am I going to eat? And it was just kind of wild. So I'm mostly kind of just chilling out from the show. The show was it was interesting. I put out the flyer. I put out the flyer on the table. It was handmade. And then I reprinted it a bunch of times. All these people came through. And I said, welcome to my booth. We got prints. I've got original paintings. If you'd like to buy those, lots of stuff. But I'd love for you to participate in my project. So I got them to sign up on it, fill it out, which gave a lot of people massive anxiety because they're like, top five what? And I was like, whatever you want it to be. And so from that, we got all these. All these are filled out. It was really cool actually to see like people get so excited about it. People were getting in like arguments about it and everything. They were really cool though. Like, let me see. Number 3 for this person, I don't take names. Number 3 for this person was Little Girl Gone by Chinchilla. I don't know what that is. I assume it's a band. Hey! Thug Shaking. Hey, hello. Hacked and Black Dragon, what's going on? Let me see. This one's Fourth one was Good Company. Let me see. This one's third was Mommy Loves Me, a 3-year-old. There's so many of these. Like I'm not gonna go through all of these. This person's second was the Ravens, the football team. Let me see. This person's fifth was cannabis. This person's third was knitting. And one person put reading. It's kind of interesting. They were all kind of like interesting little things. I figure eventually I'll make like a book of all of these. But I want to do like maybe 100 of them and do it that way. I think this is interesting. It was funny to see like the straight up confusion of people. I'm confused on what you're showing us. Oh, okay. Alright, so hacked. I made these flyers for the art show. And on the table, I left them there with an IKEA pencil. And I said, fill these out. Tell me your top 5. You can get an honorable 6th. And they're like, top 5 what? And I said, whatever you want it to be. And the sense of just existential dread that hit people on the concept of figuring out what their favorite anythings, no limitations, was the most overwhelming thing in the world for a lot of people. And it was just funny. I thought it was hilarious because I was like, well, there's no rules to it. And more people were upset that I didn't give them stringent rules on what they were talking about than they were about coming up with things. This one lady literally had to sit down. She's like, oh, that gives me like anxiety. And I was like, okay, that's all right. Think about it. Take one, come back. It'll be fine. I'm here till 4. And one person came back with it. Another person took it and never showed back up, which is fine. They're photocopies. I'm not worried about it. It was just so funny how hard it hit people, though. You know? Avant-garde. I can see how somebody might say that. Oh, dude, that's awesome. 1, bunch. 2, my car. 3, ice bombs. 4, my guitar. 5, watermelon. Hack gets it. Hack gets the idea. You just run with it. You just go with it. You tell people what brings you joy. And we will focus that in the process. Years ago, I did this video on the channel titled, I Don't Dream of Labor. And it was that whole kind of concept of, but what do you dream of though? Like, what do you want to do? If you didn't have to worry about money or anything, what would you do? More people said cannabis than I think some people were prepared to hear. I was prepared to hear it, but I don't think a lot of people were prepared to hear it at first. And I love that. I love that people were like, I want to just chill out. I want to chill out. I want to play my guitar. I want to hang out with my kids. I want to eat food. I want to play music. I want to do all these things. And like, I just think that's beautiful. Like, we got to get away from the things people tell us we need to do to be productive and focus more on the things that we want to do. So, let me see. We got another submission. Doctor Who, what, where says 1, sex, 2, cannabis, 3, NBA, 4, sleep, 5, eating. These are all solid ones. Let me see. Hack says, my dream would be to own a huge dog sanctuary. Okay, that'd be cool. So So everybody agrees with number 5 for where, what, when on sleep, on eating. Everybody wants to eat more. I can understand that. I myself, I'm a fan of eating. There's a lot of foods I can't eat. I'm diabetic, but I do love a good eat. I gotta be honest. Mm. Last night, we went to our friend's house. And they had a big bonfire, and we relaxed, as one does. And then we ate a bunch of Ethiopian food at a big table. And it was genuinely perfect. I've been trying to get better about drinking water, so we got these like Mio drops, and you add them to your water, and it's just good. It's just good. It makes it a little more tolerable. It's got like a Kool-Aid effect, and it was cool. It was cool. Like my big plan, probably this week, is gonna be I'm trying to pack up some stuff. We are moving by January, so all this will be somewhere else. We will no longer have our condo. We are going, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Let me see. Helena said, "Drink cold water only. It's refreshing." That's fair. I normally sometimes add like maybe lemon, or I'll throw like a lemon in my water. I typically don't add a lot of things to my water. It's just not necessary. But sometimes I'll take like a sprig of mint, or I'll do like lemon if I'm feeling so inclined to taste something in my water. But 90% of the time, man, I'm drinking like, I'm a working artist. I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking water. That's about it. I feel like Helena. I'm sorry, Helen. Of course I do. What kind of crazy question is that? Of course I do. I'm not even gonna answer that. I'm not even gonna answer that by reading the question. Yes, of course I do. Let me see. Doctor Whom, What, Where? On Maslow's order of stress, moving it is top 5 stress. Okay, that's fair. See, the thing I like about that's why there's a 6th on there. That's why there's a 6th, so that you can make room for whatever kind of becomes more present. Once you've seen it all as a list, you kind of move it around as it goes. I always tell people like it doesn't matter the order. It's just that you know that you value these things. Because I'm on my show, Helen. Because I'm on my show right now. That's why. When I get done with the show, absolutely. But I don't do it on the show. I just don't. It's not my thing. It's not my thing publicly to do it that way. It's really good. Like I'm surprised how good this is. I forgot mackerel has such like a good taste to it. I kept thinking it was like this is gonna be like tuna fish basically, but no, it's got like a smoky taste to it. So I just finished this painting as of the week. I think like Friday or Wednesday or Friday, and I feel good about it. Honestly, I really feel good about it. I think what I want to do is I want to try and make sure that I do a holiday show for every holiday. Not every holiday, for every season. So like a fall show, a winter show, a summer show, a spring show. I don't think I'm gonna do like a tabletop show every couple of weeks. I feel like I'd either run out of stuff that I felt like was overly repetitive, or two, that I might burn out and get bored with it. Though I gotta be honest, your boy is like your boy's very good at this. I've been very good at this for a long time. I know how to talk to people. I so for this holiday, I always make it a point to get like a bucket of candy, and then as people walk by, you kind of hold it out and you shake it at them, and you go, "Free candy, come here, come here, come here." And that always kind of works. Talk about people's clothes. You know, if you know something specific about something, you go, "Man, where'd you get that? That's crazy." And then people go on a whole tangent. People love to talk about themselves, and it builds a connection. They may not buy anything, but like it's always good to just, if you're gonna be out in these like events, you need to be able to like entertain yourself. Like it's super important. And so like thus the flyers and all the other things. Like it's all kind of that aspect where you're figuring out how to oh, you see the two crows. There are probably about four of them there actually now I think about it. So you get that one, get that one, get that one, and get that one. But yeah, I'm glad you like it. Makes me happy. I've been a painter for over 40 years. You just gotta rock with it, you know. You gotta figure out what brings you your inspiration, and what makes you feel full, I guess, complete. And then lean in that direction. Like I always ask people, what brings what brings you joy? What gives you fulfillment? What makes you happy? And people always have like this very like, oh, I don't know what to say right now type of thing. So that's why I made the flyers. And I figure every season I'll make a new design, same premise, and then we'll see whatever people stand on at that point. I think it's super important that people interact with each other. I think most of art is important on the aspects of like you have to make the art, but you also have to reach out and like grab people and occasionally like force feed them the opportunity to just kind of share a bit of themselves. Like I think the idea of even buying art and putting art up places is you're sharing some bit of your experience of your happiness, your hobbies, your qualities, those types of things. Like they're all really, really important on a basic level because you need to feel celebrated, connected, little bits of joy, you know? Just little bits of joy. So I still have quite a few prints left. I made way more than I thought I would ever sell. Um, and I do that specifically so I can just put them on my website afterwards and just sell them. You can go to my website if you want and check out which ones I have. They're about $10 a print. Most will kind of come off as weird little kind of El Pintor type of artworks, as I do. And I enjoy them. I'm always shipping out orders, so I think shipping ends up being about $5. So it's pretty easy to get the little flat packs, put them in there, slip them off. Sometimes I write letters. Sometimes I put stickers in there. I do all types of stuff for people. Very crunchy. Um, I think the art of making art sometimes is more fun than just presenting it. But I think getting the art to other people, it's always a good high. I think most of the time, all the art that I've made throughout the years, the thousands of pieces that I've made throughout the years, have been really, what's the word I'm looking for? They have been really therapeutic for me. I think the act of making art is extremely just healthy and happy. It's a good feeling. I think the act of trying to sell art is somewhat difficult unless you figured out how to have fun. I think a lot of people are kind of working towards that, but they're not having a good time while they're doing it. They don't like to be asked questions. I think all I do is get questions from people. When you pay like me, you're kind of going to get that. You're going to get a lot of, why'd you do that? What inspires you? Where'd you grow up? Etc. I used to hate those. I used to just make up stuff. Just to give people like non-depressed or crazy answers. Because I mean, some of that stuff comes from dark places. Like it just does. There's very few great moments from artists that I've run across that don't have like kind of darker, crazier answers to them. But I think the key is like, one, you don't have to share anything that makes you uncomfortable. You don't have to. You don't have to be offended. You don't have to be upset. You don't have to do any of those things. You can just enjoy the experience while you're having it. And just chill. I will say I did forget how exhausting the whole process is. Like there is a tired sleepiness that comes from after doing a show that I had forgotten was so overwhelmingly exhausting. But you learn to kind of just be a part of it, to move with it, to deal with it, if you will. And so I do. I find most of the art stuff that really kind of comes together because you allow it to be honest about whatever complexities are a part of it. You know? I think most of what I do is a exercise in sanity. A lot of it is art that is reflective of my mind space at the time. In between paintings, I try and play video games, I try and read books, I try and do stuff like that. I think it's good to keep your mind like engaged in that way. And whatever works for you works. I mean, in between everything, in between paint dries, there's a lot of other things going on. It's my sensor. I'm fine, for the record. Yeah, you have to figure out what you want to focus on. And you will. You always do. You just get to the point where you're happy in this stance of creating. And everything else is kind of something later. So, Hola Galeras, you're wonderful. I love our little talks. I finished my food. The show is done. Namaste. Have a great one. I am, as always, El Pintor. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Oh my god, it's Zeph! Hey Zeph, how are you? I have missed you. I have missed you. You know what? I'll stay on for a little bit longer so we can talk. How are you? How are you? I miss our chats. I do. The art show was crazy. It was so cool. The only problem I had was that people were complaining because I had a candy bucket and as the sun and a kid broke my lucky cat. I had a candy bucket and because it was sunny outside, the candy melted, and then people complained about the free candy. It's not going back on. People complained about the free candy being melted, which made me laugh because I was like, I mean, it's free, so whatever. I don't care. And then people came through and we had fun. One of my fans showed up and we created a secret handshake, so that was fun. Um, I autographed some people's jackets who bought some hoodies years ago from my collection. Let me see. Still a bunch of art, which is always fun. Got the flyers going. So many answers. So many answers. They were extremely fun to do. I want to like make these so these are like ones that people can print out and then send me. I think that would be fun. Let me see. Things that people put on here. Let me see. This person. So the rules. Let me explain the rules first. The rules of this were your top 5 things, and they went top 5 what? And I was like top 5 whatever you want it to be. I even put a 6th one on there, just to give you the option to throw an extra on there if you felt it. And people just kind of came in droves and they filled it up, and I just kind of pinned them up all around the booth because I had a big tent, and it was just kind of funny. Like there were so many weird. I got weird answers, but at the same time, I got like very human answers. Let me see. This person's 4 was Trick Cereal. This person's 4 was my art. I did not pay them for that. This person left number 4 empty. I don't understand. Let me see. But they filled out the other ones. So like 4 is the only one that's empty. Photographing birds was number 1 on this person's. This person's was Jimmy, my boy, in parentheses, with hearts, with a heart. Let me see. This one says the Bashman, B.I.H. I guess that's a music one that they decided to go on. Italian Ice. I love how there's just so many random. This one's like the X-Men. There's just so many like random ones that people pick. This one said knitting. I'm just picking like the most strange ones. Or relatable ones. Family time. They were all just all this joy. Take on me, real big fish. Very nice. I think I'll change maybe the design for these every season. I want to do like 100 of them and then feature them like in a big book. But I'm excited. Like these are so cool. These made me so happy. So, yeah. I have this plan today to try and go to the art store and get some supplies. I don't need much, but I do need to get a couple things because I'm wearing through some of the stuff. So I'm going to do that later today. We are moving. That is happening now. We are going to sell this place in about a month, and then we'll be somewhere else. And I'll be doing shows from there. I was talking to Alec this morning. I was worried. I was like, I don't know if I'm still going to be able to do my show because I don't know where we're going to be. And no, we don't have a buyer right now, but it's it's set up in a way so this will be gone in about a month or two at the most. Because the condo association is doing this whole thing where they're expecting an extra, I mean, it's like an extra grand a month now. And I'm like, no. One, we don't have it, but two, we're not going to give that to them. Even if we could put all the money together for an extra $12,000 a month or 11,000, I forget how it comes out. We'd rather use that for ourselves. So that's what we're gonna do. So the studio will no longer. I will no longer be in the studio. This will be somebody's whatever. It's okay. I've come. I'm trying to make peace with it temporarily. I'm sure I'll be upset about it again later, but I'm making peace with it temporarily, and I'm finding the silence of all of it is peaceful in a way. But we're gonna put stuff in storage. We're gonna move in to we're gonna move in some family for a little bit. They have extra space for us, so we're gonna do that, and we'll be there for the holidays. And then maybe in a couple of months we'll have a new place. It is what it is, you know. We held out as long as we could, and now we're going off. But that is okay. It's all going well. It's all gonna be good. So I feel like a lot of the painting stuff is going really well right now. So I want to keep that momentum with this crazy thing. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do a bunch of things, but like they're all fresh in my mind as far as what I want to do, as far as like art projects and presentations and all this stuff. So it's coming together. It doesn't sound like it is right now because I have a bit of a stuffy nose, but it was really good, honestly. It was such a good show. Such a good show. Okay. The candy bucket was definitely a big thing. The list was extremely well. But then people just kind of got over. And once I got them to get over their shyness about coming over to a table full of artwork, they found all these little things that they liked, and some broke, and it was just beautiful, you know? It was just beautiful. This one person was funny. They were like, I don't know what this eclectic blend you got going on here is. You got a lot of like, yeah, R.I.P. Lucky Cat. Um, it was funny. This one lady was like, you got a lot of things going on here. Like you got like Day of the Dead stuff, but then you also have Lucky Cat. And I was like, well, we're all multifaceted, so I don't know what to tell you. And she just kind of laughed, and she's like, yeah, you're right, blended families. And I was like, yeah, blended families, man. It's real. And we bonded. You know, it was nice. It was a nice kind of connection. I think a lot of times art shows are really good to make connections with people. You find yourself kind of enjoying meeting strangers. There's so few times in life that I can honestly say I have, as an adult, particularly in my 40s, that I have met like a new person and started up a conversation and then just had like a long extended conversation with a stranger about something that we both find in common. Like I think every time anybody watches a movie, they, hey Ram, how are you? Um, I think a lot of times people watch movies and they eventually get to work and maybe they'll talk to their coworkers about it, but they don't talk to people at the movie theater who just saw the movie that they just experienced and have conversations about that. And I always find that kind of interesting because like those would be the people who would probably get the best connections with. But they are strangers and it would be kind of awkward. So art shows are kind of that, let's not be awkward, let's just talk. type of vibe. So yeah, that's how I went. It was good. It was really, really, really good. I have not had that much fun at an art show in a long time. There have definitely been bad art shows that I've had, so I don't want anyone to ever think they're not sometimes crappy. They are sometimes, but that is okay. Life is a ever expanding, changing force, and sometimes you will find things that are amazing, and sometimes you'll find things that are so-so. And there's nothing wrong with having a mixed experience. Like I definitely am not happy about someone breaking Lucky Cat, but at the same time, I'm not. It doesn't ruin my day, you know. It doesn't make everything seem lesser so than it should have been. Because it was great. It was a great time. So, yeah, I think I'm done now. I'm rambling, and it's not really going anywhere. So, Hola Galeras. I will see you next week. I finished my food. I finished my drink. Lucky Cat is done. I might super glue his arm back on there, so it'll be stuck, but it won't move. So, until next time, paint her out. All the love, big things. And go check out my video tomorrow. It's going to be fun. A lot of fun art videos. Actually, check out my channel. Subscribe. Thank you to the Patreons. Thank you to everyone who's ever done anything to participate in any of these. Like, you're amazing. So, mwah, mwah. Paint her out. Ciao.